Mr. Diaz, you're CEO of Dufry. Do you expect organic growth to continue 2017 in line with numbers from Q4?
I think what we have seen so far in 2017, in January and February, is a continuation of the growth that we have the report in Q4 2016. Our expectation is to maintain a level of above 5% organic growth in 2017.
Global passenger numbers are expected to grow by at least 5% per year in future. Can Dufry deliver the same numbers in the next years?
Our intention is, like in the past, to deliver on top of the number of passengers increase in terms of efficiency, depending on the regions. The number you just mentioned is a global performance. Depending on the obviously different airports, what we try is to put on top of this number of passengers 100 or 200 basis points of efficiency in terms of creation of value.
So which region do you expect the best growth?
Well, in terms of number of passengers, the most relevant in growth will be Middle East, then is Far East and Asia, and also South America. And in fact, those are the regions where we are focused in terms of developing the business.
Are these the regions you're also looking for the next acquisition?
Well, acquisitions are always important in terms of the growth strategy of a company. But today, what we are focused is in organic growth delivery. In the future, when acquisitions will be again a focus for the company, the main area where we will look for is Asia.
Can you mention a level of debt where you're ready to buy another company again?
Well, there is not a threshold of debt, but we feel more comfortable between 2.5 and 3 times leverage net debt EBITDA. This is the area where we will obviously consider to do other things with the cash.
There are many terroristic and geopolitical threats at the moment in the world. How does Dufry suffer from this?
Okay, we are all in the tourism industry and we know that events like that could impact the performance of the company. I think we have an advantage. We are a global company. We are operating in 64 countries. And what we have seen so far is when there is a terrorist impact or an event that will distortion the traffic, is limited to the location and also limited in time. But obviously I can mention many of these events in the past, but the traffic is also back. As you see, during the first 2 months of this year, traffic is increasing again 9%, including all these locations where terrorist attacks impacted.
As the number one in the market, you should be able to squeeze the price for new concessions, for example. How do you take advantage of this?
Well, in terms of the concessions and the rent we pay is not the way that I would like to explain it. We are a very competitive company. The environment is also competitive, and what we try is to compete with everybody in the different markets obviously in a professional way. What is the meaning of that? Is we are very disciplined in terms of financial approaches, and we will try to get the maximum return to our shareholders, and we are not going to risk the cash of our shareholders just because we want to get the most competitive rent.
You spent a lot of money for acquisitions in the past. When are you ready to buy dividend?
Well, the dividend payment, as you know, is a decision that has to be taken by the General Assembly as obviously recommendation by the Board of Directors. What we have seen is a significant improvement in the performance of the company, and I think it's the right time to decide on the cash allocation again. And the cash allocation in this company has been historically addressed to acquiring companies. I think the Board of Directors has now the responsibility, obviously, and the decision to decide on the return cash on the shareholders. In fact, from the management point of view, we are going to recommend that to the Board of Directors.
The Dufry shares, they performed very well in the past few months. Why should investors still buy them?
Well, probably I am not the right person to go and explain what is the future, but in my view this is a credible, sustainable, profitable story. And I think if you have credibility, you have profitability, and this profitability is sustainable, is a good investment case.